Hey, we live up in this thing. What's going on, peoples? Happy 48-hour Friday to you and yours, man. It's your man Headkrack tapping in with you. You know, we back on this after hours vibe, man. You know what I mean? Doing cool things, man. Talking to cool people. Enlightening y'all with the information. And today, man, I want to actually bring up an author who has a really interesting book that really caught my attention. I started reading it. And, yeah, she may be able to help enlighten y'all, maybe empower y'all, maybe give y'all some information that you needed. The name of the book is How to Be a Better Jumpoff. It's an actual book. It's made by an author by the name of Kelli Koins. And she's going to break this whole thing down for us in a little bit. In the meantime, shout out to all the faces that I see up in the place. Big ups to my man, Polly Rob, who's launching something really major, man. We got to get you on the platform real soon to talk about it, brother. 1178, what's good, sis? What's going on, DJ Squirt? How you doing, love? Shout out to Kiki, the Black Code, and all that other good stuff. Hopefully, y'all got your stuff together for the weekend, because we're about to have a amazing switch up, man. It's been cold outside a lot of cities, man, and now we about to turn it up. What up, B-More in the building? Love to see it, love to see it. Now, Kelly should be jumping in a minute. I am Brandon D said, I sold. Hell yeah, yo. Like, chapter 1 alone will get you pulled all the way into the flow. So I can't wait for her to come on here so we can break it down a little bit more. It is very interesting material, man. Anna, what up, yo? I see ya. Shout out to King Black 78. Lulu G, what's going on? The real Simon Boma. How's y'all day going so far, man? You know what I'm saying? Is y'all vibrations like, riding high and whatnot? I know it's been like an up and down week with everything that's going on in the Ukraine and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And you never know what's coming, what's going. You never know what's going on with the whole, with the gas situation, where you be paying more money for that and all that good stuff. But here's the cool thing about this book. For those that, are interested in it, it's available on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? You can cop it. And even just to understand the mind state of, what's the difference between like a jump off, a mistress, a side chick, a jump off type A, a jump off type B. There's all types of different things. And the coin collector, Kelly, is going to break all that stuff down for you in a little bit. Okay, my man is waiting beats. I don't see her in the queue because I'm over here checking on the request to join thing. I don't see her in the queue, yo. Grand Champion. Sneaky Link, yeah, there's that too. Oh, see, DJ Squirt, you're definitely intrigued. What's wrong with my hat? This is a dope hat. It's made by the company called Obey. It's multiple colors. Does 100% match my shirt? I don't care. Let's see, Rodney King 174. Am I coming to North Carolina for Dreamville? Thinking about it. I've been seeing some different people who are talking about performing at that, and I'm definitely interested. Coin Collective, if you could drop a comment in the chat so I can see you, I can pull you in that way, because I don't see you on this end. So we're going to figure that out, yo. We're going to figure it out. Other than that, man, what other cities we got checking in right here? I know I saw Cali in the house. I know I saw some of my New York people. Dallas Gal 86 is in the building. When am I coming to the Bay Area? Good question. There's some potential things that may bring me out that way sometime in April. Fingers crossed, we'll see. Your Link Courier Services. Hey, what's up? If you know, you know. You should follow them. DJ XO, what's going on, sis? ATL in the house. The Boogie Down Bronx. BX, of course. Carl Murray, what is going on? Houston, Texas. Scrooston, Texas. Where it's about to get crazy hot out there. Because, Houston's a 3-shower town. Anybody out there, who've been there, you know the vibes, right? Let's see, St. Louis, Missouri. Have I checked out your YouTube? No, I have not checked out your YouTube. Send me a link, and I'll check it out. If you've already sent me a link and I haven't got a chance to check it out yet, I apologize. I get a lot of things sent my way, so I'm going to try to be on the lookout for you. We got Meridian, Mississippi. We got Dade County checking in from Florida. We got Newark in the building. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Crazy Keto Cloud. Let me see. I still don't see her in the sidelines. Philly all day. Yo, Philly, going to be coming your way very soon. Very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that. We got Boss Man Bounce, who's requesting to be in the video. I can't bring you in right now, Boss Man, because I need to bring in Coin Collector, Kelli Koins, so she could talk about her book, How to Be a Better Jump Off. Available now wherever you are checking out your books. I don't know if there's an audiobook version yet, but she has a very pleasant voice. Maybe she's recorded that. Not 100% sure, but we will find out that and more soon. We got the one and only way. So, need some new records? Yo, J Flips, new records are coming. New records are ready, okay? Okay, I see it right there. I see the coin collector. I see the coin collector, Kelli Koins. We're going to bring her in. Let's see. They have changed how this works now. Go live. There we go. Boom. We're about to... Ladies and gentlemen, I need some love right here. Headkrack After Hours energy. I need to see some hearts. I need to see some clapping hands. I need to see some noise being made one time for Kelli Koins, who's going to be coming in just a second. One love to the MIA. What up, Brown Sugar Babe? Appreciate you. What up, Aunt Diggs? See, why Instagram trying to play me like this? I paid my Instagram Prime bill. Why they're not letting her in? Why ain't they letting her in? What's going on? Why is this happening? You know what? Let's see. Let me see what happens if I accept this guy, just to make sure it's not like, you know, my thing. 504. Oh, thank you, 504 girls. Thank you so much for buying a badge. Appreciate the love right there. Let's see. All right, so it worked for Boss Man. What up, Boss Man? I was just making sure this works. And now that I know
what's good, my boy?
I'm good, my G.
Headkrack, what it do?
Man, it kills on Sunday. How you feeling, brother?
I'm good, man. Blessed, man. Another day, you know, gotta get at it.
Indeed, man. I would love to build with you, and we will do that one day in the very near future. I need to bring on a very special guest. You are special too, Boss Man. But let's real quick, man, and get this information one time for the young lady who has booked now, man. When you see it, you'll realize you need it, especially once you read the first couple chapters. It's called How to Be a Better Jumpoff.
Hey.
Side piece must know one time for Kelli Koins. What up, sis?
Hey. What's up? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fantastically. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
All right, so this is a very interesting book with a very unique title.
Okay.
Touching on some very taboo situations. So what prompted you to write the book? Is there a lot of people who is giving you some pushback and some resistance? Because there's a lot of women that are saying, I'm having a hard time keeping my man. And here we are with a book teaching you how to be a better jump-off.
Well, the inspiration came years ago when I actually wrote the book. I started writing the book like in 2013.
Okay.
And the inspiration came, I was scouring the gossip sites, and I came across the story about a young lady who wrote an open letter to Dwayne Wade regarding her affair with him, and she pinned it to Gabrielle Union. And it has some very detailed stuff in it. And I kind of laughed about it, you know. I was like, wow, why would somebody do that, you know? And it was obvious, you know, she, you know, obviously wanted Dwayne for herself. So she thought, well, let me get the main chick out the way, then I can be that chick. And so it was after that when the light came on, I said, yeah, let me help them out. Let me show them how to do it without causing anybody any harm. I know. And so when I started writing the book, you know, from friends and family was like, you're about to piss off a lot of people. And, but it needs to be said. So that's how I got it.
And the crazy thing is, like, when you think about terms like jump off, side piece, sneaky link, a lot of that always gets wrapped into the Black community. But as you look through history, even going back to the days of Cleopatra, she was the jump off for Mark Antony and Julius Caesar, you know, during the time.
And the Queen's family, it gets deep into it, you know. So I mean, it is something that has always been part of culture. You know, even going back to the Bible, you know, they had concubines in you know, during that time. So this it's not anything new, you know. It's just has always been unspoken rules about it, and now you know, just making those rules out there, you know. No, you know, yeah, I'm out there.
Understood. So, like, you break down quite a few things, even early on in the book, and even talking about the classification of different levels of jump-offery, if we want to make that a word, right? So what is the difference between a type A jump-off and a type B jump-off?
Well, I two categories. Type A's are the loyal type. They are the ones that are considered the women in waiting. They don't really cause any problems. They just, I know he's gonna be my man one day. I'm not even tripping. They're loyal to one committed man. Type B, they just jump, hence jump off. They go to, okay, yep, I don't care if he's married, I don't care if he's engaged, I don't care if he has a woman, whatever. I just want what he has. I'm just trying to come up. So those are the two that I talk about in the book.
Got you. Now, a little while ago, you was talking about rules to being a jump off, and without giving away too much, because we do want people to read the book. What are some of the rules? If you was to say maybe like a top 5 set of rules, what are they?
You can't get emotionally attached to these men.
Okay.
Because it's just, when you start having feelings, that's when the potential for drama comes about. You know what I mean? You start having feelings. You're like, well, I'm in love with him, and he may, have a wife or whatever. And you may one day just say, hey, listen, your husband, But, if you know the rules and okay, I can't get my feelings into it. Another rule, keep your mouth shut. Don't tell anybody, nobody else's business except yours. And that's another reason. That's another way to cause some problems. Look at, I referenced Monica Lewinsky. She had a whole conversation with somebody who was recording her, and she got caught up with the president. So you can get in those kind of situations, but you got to keep your mom, you got to keep it on the DL. Really, really keep it on the DL. Don't tell anybody. And just, those are my big two. Don't get your feelings involved and keep your mouth quiet.
How do people always get caught up in the mix where, like, it seems like a lot of times in jump off situations, like there's an understanding, like, hey, this isn't nothing super duper permanent, but then it blossoms into something else, and then people have a hard time detaching. Is there something that we call that, or how do you get caught up in that web?
Well, and you have to communicate. You know what I mean? And I'll just share a personal story.
Okay.
Long time ago.
Okay. In a galaxy far, far, far away.
Exactly. I got involved with a married man.
All right.
And it was communicated. It was like, look, we can do this, but there's rules to it. You know what I'm saying? I said, and I was telling him, you can't get attached. I knew I wasn't going to get attached. I knew, when you're dealing with a married, when I was dealing with the married man, I knew that I couldn't get my feelings into it. You know what I mean? Because I just couldn't, because I knew he was married. He had no intentions of leaving his wife. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm not going to get my feelings into it. So I had to have this conversation with him. Look, don't start doing that and get your feelings into it. Long story short, he did. I had to break it off.
Understood. Now, statistically, how often do people leave the person that they're with to pursue this fantasy life with the jump off?
I don't know, but it does happen. It really happened. I have a friend of mine that happened to. Her husband was having an affair actually with her friend. Actually, they got a divorce. He married a friend.
Wow.
That's in the book. And when you read the book, there's tales about, different tales. That was one situation. He did that. He did that.
So both parties that are involved, right? How serious should these types of relationships be taken? Or, should both people be investing so much of their heart into it, or just treat it as this taboo thing that we just, dip it and dive in it?
I think you should treat it, I think it should be treated as considered still be taboo, me personally. And you can't, you have to do it in a way where no one gets hurt. I know it sounds crazy, but you have to do it in a way where, if the woman is married, You don't want to hurt your husband. You don't want your family. You don't want your kids. And if it's the man, you don't want to hurt your wife. You don't want to have that situation where, you know, she's putting all your shit out on the street.
True.
You know what I mean? You don't want
Right.
stuff to happen. So that's, you know, you have to do it the right way. And so what I did was I just put this book together. He will kill me. My brother has helped me a lot with this book. You know, I would ask him certain things about, you know, his relationships long time ago.
In a galaxy far.
Exactly. But, you know, he would tell me. He was, you know, he was very honest about certain things that I put in that book. And I was like, oh, wow, they really went for that? He was like, yeah. And one of the things that really stuck with me was that he said he never lied to him. He never lied to him.
He kept it 100% honest with the jump-offs. Meanwhile, he was lying to his wife.
I don't know if he was lying to his wife.
Okay.
But he just kept it, you know, he kept it 100 with him. Like, look, we can do this or not. It's up to you. He didn't lie about it. He didn't lie about his status, whether he was in a relationship or not. And he just really left it up to the female. And those kind of people you can respect, you know, instead of the one saying, yeah, I'm married, but, you know, stuff that I've heard, you know, during my lifetime. Yeah, we're married, but we live in separate rooms, or we're separating, and it ain't the same, blah, 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 blah. You know, just lying. And the things that I stress in the book, men don't have to lie to jump off. You know, they want to do it. You know, especially if you got a man that, you know, is successful or he's a celebrity, they want to do it. They don't care. You don't lie. You don't have to lie to them. You don't have to lie to women, period. Whether they're jump off. No, you don't have to lie, period. And so when he told me that he kept it 100 and they still did it, I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, keep it real. Well, yo, for those who are just joining us, I am talking to Kelli Koins. She's the author of this book. It's called How to Be a Better Jump Off. And this is what it looks like, you know, what every side piece must know. Because like Biggie's 10 crack commandments, there's rules to this stuff. And she wrote y'all a manual, okay? Now, when you flipping this, flipping the script real quick, Kelli, on the wife side, the non-jump off side, what's a great way to run a good defense to make sure, you know, your relationship doesn't get penetrated, you know, by a well-armed jump off who's like coming through with all the things that's not being done at home? You know, because there's a lot of people want to know, like, yo, how can we keep this from happening?
Listen. I can't answer that question first, but I'm gonna tell you why. It's really, women can't have no control over men. Number one, we can't control what they do with their penises. We try, but we cannot. We cannot. You can have the most well-intended husband or man in your life, and then boom, he may see something. You know, one of the things that I put in my book was, and I heard this term from my father, and it was like, what's better than pussy? And it was like, I don't know. What? New pussy.
I said it in my head. I already knew the answer.
Exactly. Exactly. All men know this. We don't know that. I was taught the game, fairly early, because I was, when my mother and father divorced, I was raised by a single father that had many women. I had a bunch of stepmoms. So, and I knew not to tell one woman what the other woman was doing. So it was like early on, I was like, okay, got it. And he was real honest about, his relationships with different women and who he liked, who he didn't like. He had the woman who cooked, the woman who cleaned our clothes, a woman who did this, and then he had one that he actually really liked. So he was very honest about what was going on, and I was like, okay, so this is how it's done. Okay, never thought that I was gonna grow up and write a book about him, but to answer your question, I don't know what wives can do to arm themselves. I mean, because it's not really up to us. We have no control of you guys.
And it's really tough because, like, in a rock, paper, scissor game, scissors is new pussy, paper is old pussy, and 9 times out of 10, like, something going on, right?
Exactly. So,
All right.
I don't know, because if I put myself in a position as a wife, what would I do to try to keep my husband away from this other Kelly?
Mm.
What can I do? But know the game myself and know the signs of what, he may be doing. And then, just talk to him about it. I was like, look, honey, you ain't never walked out of here to go to work smelling good. Why you got cologne on today?
Mm.
How come I have all these unanswered texts and phone calls at this time? Where are you? What are you doing? So there are some things that you guys do that you may not know that you're doing that kind of trigger us into something ain't right. And
so we mostly pay attention to patterns, and then once those patterns get disrupted, typically is a signal that something's different. Which is crazy because, like, I'm one of those people who, I feel like I don't have a pattern. Like, I am the most random, erratic person. So even what you said about the cologne and, like, why are you going out smelling good now? Because, like, I just got this cologne, and before I didn't have it, so now I'm using it.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And those missed calls and those random messages, I get mad scam likely calls. So sometimes things aren't always what they're cracked up to be, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the people that are actually going out there and committing the crime. So
exactly, not like you.
Right. So Kelli, what are some of the things that make men cheat?
Make men cheat?
Mm-hmm.
Men use many excuses. So I'm not going to say what makes them cheat. They use many excuses to cheat. It could be something as simple as my wife or my significant other keep pissing me off, or she doesn't do what I ask her to do sexually, so I'm gonna have to go there. You can use any men use any. It can use any excuse to try.
Right. And that's a big component too, what you were saying about, like, sometimes things that certain people won't do sexually. I liken it to anybody who was a kid, especially guys here, who used to play with action figures. Like those OG Star Wars action figures, their arms only went like this, but the G.I. Joe, the arms would bend, the legs would bend, and it's a different, you got more options, more points of articulation. And a lot of times when you're getting all that extra art, that sexual articulation from outside the crib, it's like, whoa. It's like going from, like, a mom and pop store and walking into Costco for the first time. It's like, we're doing all this?
Exactly.
So how does the wife or the dedicated girlfriend compete with that? Like, how can women level up their skills in real time without going to find another partner to practice with themselves? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you get like, what do women do when guys aren't home? Like, to advance.
Porn.
Mm.
Porn. I mean, if you really want to level up, women look at porn too. I said too, but if you want to know a new skill, or you want to, enhance your skills that you're already doing, go to porn. Pornhub has a lot of stuff that you can.
But sometimes you have to, like, really practice that on a thing. Like, I can watch a whole season of basketball, but I will not be as good as Dwayne Wade. So
you practice on your husband, like, hey, baby, come here, bring that here, and
so
you practice on him.
Okay.
This is what I was checking out a few porns, and look, come here, let me show you something. You just, other than that, I don't know. I can only just say what I would do.
Okay, understood. Now, has there been any blowback that you've gotten since the release of this book?
Oh my God, yes. People who just read the title of the book and they assume, I had this one girl say, I can't believe you wrote a whole book about fucking somebody's shit up. And I was like, it's really not about that.
It really isn't.
It's really not about that, but you have to read the book. She said, well, no, on Amazon, this is what it says. And I was like, you have to read the book. I said, if you want to have this discussion, you want to have this argument, read the book and then come back and let's have this conversation. It is a tool for women who engage in these types of relationships. I'm not promoting it. It's not a promotion of being a side chick. I would never do that to anybody. I would never do that. So I'm not promoting that lifestyle, but if you are engaged in that type of behavior and relationship, then do it the right way. Just do it the right way. All I'm saying is just do it the right way. Don't be out here on social media outing your man. We all seen that happen. The tragic situation that happened about a couple years ago where a young lady outed her man on Facebook and he shot her on Facebook Live and killed her on Facebook Live. So those are just some extreme cases, but stuff like that does happen. You had another case where a young lady was dealing with a committed man. He was engaged. The fiance was pregnant, and so she felt like he wasn't making moves fast enough. So she killed his fiance and a baby.
That's awful. Like
it
can get dark.
It got real dark. And when they went to court, and he testified, and they were like, "Well, what's going on? Did you tell this young lady?" He was like, "No." He said, "I had no intentions of leaving my fiance, no intentions." But he didn't tell her that.
See,
It was all.
key.
So, but my thing is, you should know certain signs. You know what I mean? You should know when a man is treating you like a jump off. You know what I mean? Number one, if he has someone, okay, and he's with you, okay, that's a dead giveaway right there, right?
Right.
But when he says yes, once she had a baby, I'm gonna leave or I'm gonna do this, that, that's just it's bullshit. It's bullshit, and you got to know when men are giving you bullshit. Like I said, my brother kept it 100 with his, and I was like, I can respect somebody like you. You give women the choice to be, part of your complicated life or not, and I had one, out of my whole entire life, I had one guy who kicked it to me like that. I still said no, but to this day, we're still best friends.
That's because you respected the honesty that he doled out in the very beginning.
I've heard, like I said, since I've been in Atlanta, I've been hearing a lot of shit. One guy, was like, no, we just live together. I have my own room. She has her own room. Okay. So I said, and we were in this car, and I was like, okay, well, cool. Let's go tell her. He was like, wait, ho. I was like, but what's the problem? You said you love me. You want to do this? Let's do it. He was like, whoa. So I was like, yeah, that's that bullshit right there. The whole.
Well, okay, how long were you in that relationship?
What relationship? The one that I'm talking about?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't in a relationship with him. He was trying to get me to that place. You know what I mean? I was like, and I was like, dude, I wrote a whole book about this. There's nothing that you can say to me that make me believe anything that you're saying. Nothing. There's no amount of money that you can spend on me. There's nothing that you can say. And it's so crazy. And this is another example of why I think men get caught up. Now, he took me to dinner, and he had been drinking.
Okay.
So, and we went to Athens or Augusta, somewhere over there, right?
That's a hike. That's a day trip date.
Exactly. So we weren't in a hurry. Just, I don't know what he told her, whatever. So went to dinner, and so he was drinking, so he couldn't drive. So I was like, I'll drive, and I didn't like the music was on, so I put in my iPhone, click, start, going through my playlist, right? He drinking, rolled him up one, whatever. And so we're riding, listening to music. So I get back home and because he was like really faded, I was the one who had to make sure that I, um, erased that I had my iPhone in there. I was the one to make sure I didn't have anything else in his car because he had been drinking. He didn't know.
Yeah, it was super protecting the situation.
So, he goes home, he's safe. But how many women gonna do that?
Not very many.
And and it's like,
and not with that much attention to detail.
Exactly. And I was like, number one, I didn't want him. There was nothing there for me. So, I tried, I was trying my best to keep him in the friend zone, and he kept, trying to go somewhere else. I'm like, no, you're my homie. You're my homie. We're not doing this. And so that's when I got, we're sleeping separate rooms, whatever. I'll buy you whatever. It's like, it ain't about that. It's not about that. I want you. I don't want nobody else's mess. I don't want it. Been there, done that.
Right. Well, yo, for everybody that's just joining us, I'm talking to Kelli Koins, the coin collector. The book is called How to Be a Better Jumpoff. I got about 5 minutes. If y'all got any questions, drop them in the chat. We'll answer them, and we'll keep it pushing. But it's really a great read. I actually came for the ratchet read, but information, which is kind of dope because that's kind of how you want.
And everybody thinks that it's just ratchet, but it's really about information. It's only, if I can stop, one person from being killed or beat up or, getting their shit, sat out on the side of the street, then, it was all worth it.
Okay, what do you say about people who come back from like the bowels of time and bring up some shit that happened 10 years ago? Like, you thought you got away with the perfect crime. This jump off was your jump off years ago. And now all of a sudden you're bringing up some shit that happened when like Barack Obama was in office.
Why is it an issue though? Why would it be an issue if somebody did that 10 years? So I have to put that in my, and if I was in a relationship with someone and he had jump off 10 years ago, why would I bring it up, now? Now, I was
not you as the significant other, but you're like, wow, like a jump off comes up from beyond the grave to bring up something that happened a long time ago just to cause disruption in your life because they see you happy.
That's a good question. I mean, would she still have receipts from 10 years ago?
I don't know. People can make receipts.
I mean,
it's every day, B.
Question. I don't know how I would feel if my husband's jump off came up 10 years ago and said, hey, fuck your husband 10 years ago. It's like, okay, what is your motive now of telling me that?
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
they say hurt people, and unhappy people want other people to join them.
Yeah. It's like, well, why would you do that? I mean, what's your motive? What do you want? You want him now?
I mean, but that's how I feel about these people who be going like on these shows like No Jumper, like airing people out.
Exactly.
So, what do you expect to get out of this? Because that round of people that came through and got reality TV show deals, that shit ain't happening no more. That's like people thinking they gonna start the new Cash Money Records. The game is fixed. It's not gonna happen anymore, or not that way. So you got to figure something else. Like what T-Pain say in his Twitch, do something else. Like that's not it.
Exactly. And so that's what I mean. What is your motive? I mean, people have motives for different things. Is she trying to blackmail them? From 10 years ago, I don't know, but I wouldn't give it any type of energy.
Yeah. Real quick, Marvin Ransom Jr. wanted to know: are you going to do a sequel to How to Be a Better Jump Off?
I actually am, and it's for the men. It's called Rules. That's not the piece.
Your sound went out. It's called what again?
Rules for Keeping a Side Piece.
Oh. See, I need this book to blow up in such a way, right? That, someone buys the film rights and we get the movie. You know what I'm saying? Because I like this to be this generation's Think Like a Man,
Exactly.
you know, kind of vibe. I hear SZA all over the soundtrack for some reason.
Right.
Like I feel like she's doing the whole thing. Same way Kendrick Lamar did the Black Panther soundtrack. We need this.
And you know what? I was really thinking about is it would be really dope. You know, because like I said, I want to tell too much out of the book, but you know, there are tales in that book, and I would love to just put together something for maybe Netflix or HBO as a series based on the different tales in this book.
Wow. When I tell you this is very interesting reading, and it's a very easy read because it's like, you know, shout out to the older people with bad eyes, like the fonts it's a decent font, you know what I'm saying? And you once you pick it up, you won't be able to stop. If you start at 12 p.m. on a Sunday,
it's easy.
3 p.m. it's a wrap, and you're done with it, and it's a great read, and it's just great information and very good. I'm glad that wasn't me type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But just know that these are happening. These stories are out there, and you know, knowledge is power.
Right. Any more questions?
Let's see, you know, people just really just excited about it. They say speak into existence. They definitely want to see the show. They need an Issa Rae directing your movie. You know, they said T is speaking it into existence. And yeah, man, like they're definitely rocking. Cooper Runner says she hopes our local library has this book. You could check the book out in the library, but why don't you support a local Black business and buy the book on Amazon? Amazon is out here trapping like Jimmy John's. This book will be at your door before you remembered that you ordered it.
Exactly.
Ooh, my man Algernon said you could be like the new Zane. Because even like the way the chapters are doled out as you tell these stories, like, oh man, like there's so many places that this could go.
Yeah, and we
I'm just happy that
putting it out to the universe. So whatever we get back from the universe, that's what we're gonna go with. If it's a movie, it's a movie. If it's a series, it's a series. If it's whatever, we're gonna move it that way.
Kelly, outside of this book, what else you working on?
I am actually working on a screenplay.
Okay.
Not related to this book, you know. So my dream is to just really just get into writing more books, but screenplays. So something cool is coming up. It's gonna be controversial as usual, but it's something that needs to be said and aired out. So I'm working on that right now.
Well, you weave a very interesting and intriguing tale. This is what the book looks like. Accept no substitutes. How to Be a Better Jumpoff, available at Amazon. Is there a Kindle version as well?
It is Kindle.
Yo, so if you want to go digital and you don't like touching things,
right?
Exactly. Is there an audiobook version of this as well?
Yep.
You have an audiobook version?
No, not audio. Oh, no audio. No.
Oh.
Just Kindle and just the paperback.
Kindle or Amazon, but like, you know, get it just in case the government decides that some of this information doesn't need to be out, because she does name drop some people early on, and you know, people like to write it all the time. So
exactly.
Well,
so much.
Thank you so much, Kelly. For everybody that's just tapping in, you know, I have her profile saved at the bottom. Be sure you give my sis a follow. Be sure you check out the book, How to Be a Better Jumpoff. If you type it in on Amazon, this is the only thing that's going to come up. So it's easy to find.
Exactly.
It's a red book, easy. Real quick before you go, somebody wanted to know, have you thought about doing a podcast?
I have, and I'm working on it right now. So stay tuned. I'm going to start doing podcasts, and I'm going to start delving into more into the book. But, you know, a friend of mine was like, you need to have maybe a wife on your show to talk about, you know, how she feels about this book and, you know, the situation. And so that's what I'm working on right now. So
somebody, a G716 says, woo, what if my wife sees me reading this?
Boo, don't bring it in the house. Keep it
at
work. Keep it at work. And read it on your lunch break.
Be a bathroom book, you know, take it under the thing. It is what it is.
Exactly.
Well, cool. Well, much love to you, Kelly.
Thank you so much.
We got to do this again soon. You're always welcome here after hours. This is me hugging you.
Oh, hug.
Energy. Love it. Thank y'all tapping in, and we'll do it again soon, y'all.
All right. Thank you.
Book.
Yes, get the book. Thank
Later,
you.
y'all.
All right, bye-bye.